this is Sarah from Great Days by Sarah, and today I have for you a hip opening yoga flow. We'll start with a short warm-up, go through some traditional sun salutations, and then end on the floor with some more hip opening. This is great if you sit during the day, if you have a desk job, if you sit on the floor a lot with your kids. I notice my hips get tight as I sit and I play with my little ones, or if you've been traveling. Let's get started in child's pose and make these hips feel a lot better than they feel right now. Make your way back to the back of your mat or the space that you're working in today. I'll encourage you to send your knees wide, maybe a little bit wider than you would in child's pose, and connect your big toes in the back. Reach your arms forward to start and just start to feel how your hips are right now. Maybe this is the lowest that you can go. If you'd like to relax your neck, you can stack your hands and rest your forehead on them in front of you. And then of course you could find a traditional child's pose if it works for you right now, but it might be stiff. If it's too much, just come back one level. Whatever your child's pose looks like right now, we'll connect with our breath, going for that deep Ujjayi breath breathing today, in through your nose, and out through your nose with a little constriction in the back of your throat to connect to that Ujjayi sound. Sounds of the ocean as you exhale. If that's not possible for you today, just control your breath slowly in and slowly out. Whatever works for you. If your hands are out in front of you, move them a little bit further away. Find a deeper stretch through your shoulders. Send your hips even further towards your heels. 2 more big breaths. On your next inhale, come up to hands and knees. We'll go through 3 rounds of cat and cow, stacking your shoulders over wrists, our knees under hips. We inhale up, gaze towards the sky, tailbone lifts up. Exhale, everything rounds, chin towards your chest, squeeze your knees towards each other, and reverse it. Exhale, round it out. Inhale, last one up. As always, do what works for your body today. Make your way back to a neutral spine, and you're going to send your right leg out to the side. So you want it to line up as close as you can to that other knee. If you already feel this stretch through your inner thigh, you are not alone. If you need to move it back a little bit, move it back. We're going to start with just a slight rock. So if you're barefoot, this is a little bit easier. Foot can be on the floor, flat. If you're in a sneaker, it might just be the edge of the sneaker on the ground, and that works too. Start to make it a little bit bigger. Maybe you can even do like a half child's pose, send your hip to your heel, and then come back up. If you feel any pain in that left knee, don't go all the way back. Still connecting with your breath. 3, 2, and 1. Wiggle your right leg back underneath. 1 cat-cow just to reset the spine. Inhale up. Exhale round. Back to neutral, and we find the left side. Left foot comes out. Find a tiny rock first. It doesn't have to be big. This is by far my tighter side. So maybe this one goes a little bit slower. Start to increase that shift, increase that range of motion. And if it feels okay, bring it all the way back, this half child's pose, and all the way up. You'll definitely feel these moves in your hips today. There's a fine line between feeling them and then having pain. So if you're in pain, don't go as deep or just come out of the pose completely. Hips are one of those tricky areas where we hold a lot of tightness and we might not even realize it until we get into some of these postures. Keep breathing. For 3, 2, and 1. Wiggle your left leg back in, 1 cat-cow. And exhale, round everything back. You're gonna bring your left leg forward. We're gonna go into a modified lunge, our last piece of our warm-up before we stand. Your left leg's forward, right leg is back. And for this one, I want your knee down on the ground. Of course, if you need a little bit more stretch, you can lift it up, but to start, let's keep it on the ground and untuck your toe. And then come up slowly onto your hands, and maybe your hands still stay here. But I'll encourage you to come up a little bit higher, so we're not leaning on our leg. Shoulders are gonna be over hips. Tailbone, try to tuck it under slightly. If you need a little bit more, lean a little bit more into this left leg, but once again, make sure this left knee doesn't go over this left ankle. And if you feel it in your knee, come out of it. Really opening up through this right hip flexor, right quad. If you're ready, and many of us might not be in this one, I'm not 100% sure I am, you're gonna lift your back leg and reach for your back foot. Only if you feel like you need a little bit more of a stretch. If you have open hips, you have the flexibility, you can pull your heel towards your glute, but don't sacrifice the posture. Still stay tall, still tuck your tailbone under, and fight the urge to open to the side. You want to have your hips still facing forward. Wherever you are, breathe for 3, 2, and 1. If you have the foot, slowly release it. Bring that left leg back, and we're just going to switch it out. Right leg comes forward. Find the balance first. Line up your knee over your ankle, then slowly walk up. Shift your shoulders over your hips. Tuck your tailbone under, even if it's slight. And try to have your back foot untucked. So you're not here, you don't have that pressure on your toes, feet are relaxed. And we breathe. Side to side will be different, so go where this side feels good. If you're ready for it and it feels good on this side, lift your back foot, reach for it with your left hand. If at any point that you decide this is not for you, just reverse it. Just because you did it on one side doesn't mean you can do it on the other. Try to square your hips, square your shoulders, and if you're in this, pull your heel towards your glutes. Maybe they touch. Mine don't come anywhere near touching today. You can definitely feel a huge stretch through my quad, the big muscle in the front of your leg. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down, step it back. This time when we go to all fours, you're gonna send your hips forward. We're gonna go modified Chaturanga. Feet are down, knees are down, elbows shoot back, only to 90, and then press back up. We're gonna do 2 more just like that. Keep the abs tight, and press back up. Last one like this. Elbows shoot back, raise your rib cage, right back up. This time we're gonna lower all the way down to the mat, nice and slow. Baby cobra. neck is long, light press through your hands, and down. 2 more like that. Inhale up, baby cobra. Exhale down. 1 more like this, we hold. Maybe you stay in the baby cobra. Maybe you're ready for an upward facing dog. And send it back to child's pose. Breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Eye gaze lifts forward. Walk as slow as you can to the top of your mat. Bend those knees. Feet are going to be about hip distance apart to start. Let your head hang heavy and roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. We're at the top of our space. Move your big toes to touch if it's comfortable for you. Going into our first sun salutation. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Knee bend if you need it. My hamstrings aren't warmed up yet. I'm going to keep my knees bent. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Then your right. Your choice, Chaturanga. Modify it if you need to. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. First down dog of the day. Do what feels good. Pedal out your feet. I love to send my heels side to side. Get a good stretch through my IT bands and through my side body. And then when you're ready, find stillness. Upside down letter V with your body. Let your head hang heavy. Reconnect with your breath. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, a little bit quicker this time. Tiptoe. Or if you're ready to hop, hop to the top. Inhale brings you up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse the swan dive all the way up top. Hands together at heart center. 1 more just like this. Sun A. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Maybe legs are a little bit straighter this time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time step your right foot back first, then your left. Decide on what flow you're going for, or go right back to downward facing dog. That's where we will all meet. 3 breaths here. Hips are high to the sky. Working your heels towards the ground, even if they don't touch. And on your next inhale, hop, step, or jump, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Hands come to heart center. Chair pose. Inhale up, sit your hips way back. Reach to the floor to start. How low can you get? Maybe you can even touch the floor. And then hands come up. Chair pose. Squeeze your knees together. Send your hips back. Take a little peek down. Make sure you can see your toes. And if you can't, slide your hips back even more. We're just here for 3, 2, and 1. Forward fold. Inhale takes you halfway up, long flat spine. Exhale, step or hop. Maybe you'll try the hop today. Back to your Chaturanga. If you hop, you're landing with bent elbows. Inhale brings you up, forward facing dog or cobra. Exhale brings you back down. Inhale, bring your right foot high. Flex through your foot. Hips are square. Step it forward. We're going to go crescent first today. So on the back toe. Don't turn your heel down like you would for a warrior 1. Crescent Lunge. Hands come up. This first time through, we're going to hold. Square your hips towards the front, shoulders relax, then press through your back leg and bend through your front leg. Last inhale up, maybe gaze towards the sky. And exhale brings you down. Step it back, flow or no flow. We all make that in downward facing dog. Next inhale brings your left leg high, flex through your foot strong, hips are square to the floor. Then we step it forward, rolling onto this back toe. When you're ready, come on up. I like to bend through my back leg just a little bit. It encourages me to tuck my tail under. I can get a deeper bend through my front leg and then extend the back. And nothing else really changes. Arms come up. Strong back leg. Weights in all four corners of my front foot. And then for our last inhale, can you look up? Exhale brings you down. Step it through. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale to the top. Hop, step, or jump. Inhale brings you up halfway. Exhale brings you lower. Inhale, chair. Sink low, and then stand it up. Going through one more time, one breath, one motion. Here it is. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, chaturanga. Or hop, landing with bent elbows, nice and soft. Exhale brings you back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step to crescent. Inhale brings you up. Exhale brings you down. All the way. Inhale brings you upward facing or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bring it through. Inhale brings you up. Exhale brings you down. All the way to chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, hips go high. And we breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Walk your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse that swan dive all the way up. Hands come to heart center. And then down by your side, mountain pose. Close your eyes for one moment. Wiggle your fingers and open them. I'm going to move to the center of my mat for this next one. We have one standing posture today that opens hips and focuses on balance. I'm going to plant my left foot down. My right foot can start over my calf or over my shin. Just find the balance. Starting on my good side over here. Then you're going to work it all the way up to above your knee. And you're going to sit your hips back. Sit your hips back. Sit your hips back. Hands come to heart center. And then if you're able to, connect your elbow to your foot and your knee. Still sitting your hips backwards. If this is too much, take a figure 4 on the floor. Like if you just keep falling out of it and it's not hitting a stretch, take a figure 4 on the floor. Let's sit back a little bit lower. We're only here one time. It's 3, 2, 1. Come out of it as slow as you came into it. Shake it out, other side. Plant your right foot, cross it over. Let that ankle on the right wake up a little bit. Mine's unsure that it wants to. And then move it up over your knee. And then we sit. Flex through this foot, protect your knee. Hands come to heart center. You fall out, you get right back in. Try it a couple times, and then if you fall too much, then do figure 4 on the floor. Can you connect your elbow to your knee and your elbow to your foot, still sinking your hips back, finding that drishti, finding that point that's not moving. For 3, 2, and 1. Really nice job. Come out of it slow. Shake it out, and then we're just going to come down to our mat. Feet together, knees apart. Heels are pretty close for this first one, into this butterfly posture here. Holding your feet, just move your knees a little bit. Flutter your butterflies. And then find stillness. And then can you lean forward with a flat back? Move your elbows to press your knees down. Push them towards the floor. You can open your feet like a book. And then when you're ready, round and try to move your nose to your toes. This is one I definitely have never been able to demonstrate, but I'm sure there's some people out there that can. Moving your nose towards your feet, keeping your knees pressing towards the ground, and then of course we breathe. 3, 2, 1. No matter where you are, come out slow. We're just going to move our feet. That's it. Move your feet further in front of you so you have this diamond shape through the center. Find your flat back, and then walk your hands out towards your feet again. If you can't get to your feet, just hold your shins. And we'll walk it out into this diamond shape, and then round it out. Three, 2, 1. Coming up. Next one, we're staying seated, 90-90. I'm going to bring one leg to 90 degrees. Send the other leg back 90 degrees. This takes a second to set up. And then focusing on driving my pelvis to the floor. So send those sits bones to the floor. Sitting up tall. Once they're as close as they're going to get to the floor, facing forward, walking my hands towards my front leg, but don't allow this back leg to lift. Don't allow this hip to totally lift up. You're still driving it back. You might even feel a little pinch through this hip flexor here if you have tight hips. Moving it forward to the front. Slowly walk your hands up, no matter where you are. Listen for the change. We're just going to rotate to the other side. Lift your back leg up and around and over to the other side. You should be able to land pretty close to this start position. Adjust what you need to. Make sure those knees are 90-90. Flex through your feet. Sit up tall. Can you drive the sits bone to the mat? There should be very little space between your workout space and your glutes. Then face it forward without lifting this back hip. Walk your body over your front leg. Once again, lift your back leg. We're going to switch back over to the other side and change it up. Switch it over. We're going to find our way into Pigeon. Now, a textbook version of Pigeon is this 90-degree angle with your leg. Reach your leg back. I don't know very many people that can fall into Pigeon with 90 degrees, so we modify. We bring our foot in at an angle. Our back foot reaches straight backwards. Take a quick peek. And then if you're super high on this one, like I am today, you can stick a blanket underneath this glute to have some contact. Sit up tall to start. And then that same fold, shoulders facing forward, now facing the ground, all the way lower down. Maybe you're on your forearms. Maybe you can stack your fists so your neck can relax. Or maybe you have that mobility today that you're all the way down into the mat. Hand can rest flat on your hands or even all the way down. Find the space where you feel a good stretch. Try to let go of the stiffness in the back of your head. Relax through your shoulders so they're not pulled up over your ears, even though this is challenging for a lot of us. We're not here long. Just focus on the inhale and the exhale. Two more big breaths. Make them big, make them deep. Last one. If you're on the mat, start to come up. We're going to switch the same way. Bend that back leg and rotate it over to find Pigeon on the other side. Now, if you're someone that can keep this 90 degrees and feel it through your hips, keep it. I need to modify and lessen my angle a little bit. Start high. Reach back. Make sure that foot is still on your mat. Straight behind you, starting tall, and then walking your way forward down to the fullest expression for you today. Like we've been saying from the beginning, one side is usually either like a better side or a more flexible side. Do whatever works in your body for this side today. And it might be completely different than it was yesterday, or it will be tomorrow. Relax through your upper body. Two big breaths. Come up nice and slow. And however it works for you, we're going to meet on our back in your space. Roll it all the way down. We're going to find one last posture for happy baby. Feet come up, reach for the either outside of your calves here, outside of your feet, or your big toes. And wherever you are, flex your feet like you're going to stomp on your ceiling. Pull your knees towards the ground and find length through your spine. You can can stay here or do the one last modification. Maybe straighten one leg, bring it back, straighten the other, or both at the same time, straighten them out. I'm going to take out my baby palm tree over here. If you chose to straighten, slowly bring them back in. Find the happy baby. Release your feet. Grab your knees. One last tuck. Everything squeezes in, and then everything releases. Shavasana. Let go of the control of the breath. Let your feet relax. Maybe your ankles turn out. You can shift your head side to side to find the most comfortable landing spot for this short Shavasana. You've arrived. Let's take one more controlled breath. Inhale up. Stretch long with a good morning stretch. And exhale, roll onto one side. And slowly roll yourself up to seat, keeping your eyes closed if it's comfortable. Find yourself into a comfortable seat, and then bring your hands to heart center. And then thumbs to this third eye, this side of intuition. Namaste. Thank you for joining me in this hip opening today. I hope your hips feel a lot better than they did when we started. Go have a great day.